Hi, everyone. I thought I would take a little bit of time today and create for you just a short video talking about thesis statements for the upcoming midterm speeches. Yay! So as you know, we are now in full midterm mode. You are planning and thinking about and maybe agonizing a little bit about upcoming midterm presentations. And so to help you get yourself ready for the midterm, I thought this video on thesis statements might help just give you some pointers, give you some ideas, and help orient you to what you should be thinking about for your thesis statement. Now, I know midterm speeches are, a lot of people are very anxious about it. A lot of people tell me that public speaking is their biggest fear, and they have no interest in doing public speaking. And the reality is, when we talk about communications, public speaking, and making speeches is a huge and significant part of interpersonal communications. Kind of inescapable, if you will. And to be perfectly honest, I think a lot of you will experience this later on in your lives as well, in your careers too, that you're going to be making speeches pretty regularly. So having a good foundation now will only help you in the long run. So what I'd like to do is take a little bit of time today and go over for you information about how you will do your thesis statement, some tips for making a really good thesis statement, and then maybe a little bit of information about what your thesis statement would not look like. All right. So first, what I'm going to do is share with you the screen in Blackboard. And here we are in our Blackboard screen. And I'm looking right now at the midterm project folder. And just as a reminder for you, you can see, first of all, the assignment is right here. You'll prepare and deliver a 6 to 8 minute speech on any topic. And then you can download a copy of the assignment there and a copy of the rubric there. Now, what we're talking about today, if I scroll down just a smidge, is step 1, the thesis statement, the goal, and the topic paragraph. And I encourage you to refer to your syllabus or to the course calendar. I always update that for more specific information about when that is due for you. Okay, but what we're going to do is just go over today this information, what it means to create your thesis statement and so forth. So for this particular assignment, I didn't do that ahead of time. For this particular assignment, as I said, you are choosing a topic that you're interested in. You are going to confirm it with me, please. You are going to decide if you want to inform or persuade your audience on this topic. And then you're going to submit a short explanation of what your presentation will cover. It's going to include these 5 bullet points here. First of all, a sentence explaining your topic. That's something really short and sweet. Doesn't have to be anything too formal. It's simply, I'm interested in this, or I want to talk about this. Really simple. It's helping me get a clear idea of what your topic is, just in case I need it. Secondly, I'm looking for a statement explaining the goal of your presentation. As I said before, most of the speeches that I see students do are informative speeches or persuasive speeches. So in that case, you might be telling us about something, you might be teaching us about something, you might try to change our minds about something. Okay, so you need to tell me what your goal is there. That doesn't mean to say that entertainment type speeches or narrative type speeches are off the table. Just most people, when they pick a topic that they're really interested in, tends to be more informative or persuasive. A fully developed thesis statement. I often say, and maybe it's not fair, that this is the hardest part of the speech. And I don't say that to strike fear into your hearts. I say that because, quite honestly, it's the most important part of the speech. And it's the part of the speech that's going to drive the rest of your speech. So we'll come back to this in a minute, exactly how you do that. I'm looking for a short paragraph summarizing several of the main points you'll discuss. And quite honestly, I know this sentence is written as a short paragraph. It doesn't have to be. You can just give me a couple bullet points. But essentially, these are the main points that are going to support your thesis statement. And then finally, 2 citations for at least 2 sources, formatting an APA. Please remember that for this speech, you do need to have 3 sources. We'll talk in a later week about how to incorporate those sources into the body of your speech, but you should have at least 2 sources for step 1, 3, of course, in the long run. So, play it by ear how many you need. So let's talk about thesis statements. What is a thesis statement? Your thesis statement is the central statement that's going to summarize the main point of your speech into one clear, concise idea. You are marketing your speech when you create your thesis statement. As I say below there, or an essay. When you write an essay, you need to have that thesis statement. It's clear, it's concise, and it explains exactly what you're going to be talking about in that paper. And in this case, it's going to explain exactly what you're going to be talking about in your speech. Quick little bit of information for you. Please remember that writing a speech is very similar to writing a paper. The only difference is you're not going to spend so much time on writing and sentences, and you're focusing more on ideas and short bursts of information with your speech. And then as you present it, you'll use that guideline, that outline to speak from, essentially off the cuff, as I'm not doing really well right now. All right, a thesis statement is not all about my topic. Please don't write me a thesis statement that says, I'm going to talk to you all about owls. It's not a thesis statement. You need to give me more than that. A thesis statement does not include the main points of your speech. And I think all of us at one point or another were taught, probably in upper elementary school, we were taught to include all of our main points in our thesis statement. And we don't want that. Again, short, concise, to the point. And a thesis statement is not overly long. In fact, probably the best thesis statements I've seen are less than 10 words long. You don't need to go on and on. You don't need to have, line after line after line to your thesis statement. It's quick, it's short, it is to the point. All right, let's delve a little bit more into this. A strong thesis statement has these few key things. First of all, your strong thesis statement will identify the topic for the audience. By reading your thesis statement, we know exactly what you're talking about. A strong thesis statement will reveal your opinion. We'll also know your opinion. It will connect with the audience, and it will tell them what to expect. So let's break this down. When we talk about identifying your topic, people shouldn't have to guess what you're talking about. They should know instinctively what you're talking about. Think of it this way. Your speech is 6 to 8 minutes long, and any time that people don't know what you're talking about is wasted time on your speech. All right, so certainly within the first minute, we should know exactly what you're talking about. Strong thesis statement will help you with that. Strong thesis also reveals your opinion. Again, limited time. You don't have a lot of time to talk about your opinions in a speech or to maybe set the stage for them. So you need to jump right into it. You need to tell us immediately what you think. You need to get our interest immediately and be very, very upfront with your opinion. Now, obviously, in some situations, you don't want to share opinions. In some situations, you need to be a little bit more, secretive about it. When it comes to a speech, again, 6 to 8 minutes. Just tell us right away what your opinion is. A strong thesis statement connects with the audience. You're talking to us. We're listening to you. Why? Why should we be listening to you? And so a strong thesis statement is going to help you identify that. All right. Connect with people on a personal level, bring them into it, make them interested in it. Sometimes that means saying something that a lot of people will agree with. Sometimes it means saying something that is very shocking. Both good examples of thesis statements, but it's going to capture people. It's going to connect with them immediately, and then they're going to be interested. And finally, a strong thesis statement tells them what to expect. All right. Again, you don't have to give all those details where it says don't share every detail. I'm talking about your main points. Don't share those right away. But again, along the same lines as the opinion, when you talk about what to expect, we know that you're going to be telling us examples of whatever your opinion is, okay? Or you're going to be telling us the history of something, or you're going to be telling us how to do something. So there is a roadmap. We know what to expect with it. Let me give you an example. Up at the top of the screen here, you see again, a strong thesis statement identifies a topic, reveals your opinion, connects with the audience, and tells listeners what to expect. And here is a sample thesis statement for you. Peanut butter and jelly sandwiches are delicious. You know what? That's actually a really strong thesis statement. It's short, it's to the point, but it's a really good thesis statement. First of all, we know what the topic is: peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. Secondly, it reveals your opinion. They're delicious, right? There's no question there. Thirdly, it connects with the audience. Audience members at some point are going to have some experience with peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. I would argue most people it's going to be positive. I'm allergic, so not going to happen here. But it tells listeners what to expect, and we can expect that you're going to tell us reasons why peanut butter and jelly sandwiches are delicious. Okay, so it's pretty simple, it's pretty short, it's to the point, and it does all those 4 main points that I mentioned before. Now, we can make this thesis statement even better, and I'm going to give you a couple examples about it. For example, you might say something to the effect of, everyone loves peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. That's another very simple thesis, but you get the understanding. Again, you know the topic, you know the opinion, you're connecting with the audience, everyone loves them, and you tell people what to expect. Another potential thesis statement for this topic could be something along the lines of, nothing says home like a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Or along the same lines, nothing says a mother's love like a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Okay, so again, very short and very sweet and simple, to the point. Doesn't have to be long and fancy, doesn't have to reveal all the different parts of your speech. All right, a few parting thoughts for you as you put together your thesis statements. First of all, weave your thesis statement into your speech. Don't hit people over the head with it. Please, please do not say, my thesis statement is, in the middle of your speech. You don't need to do that. We are going to listen to your speech. We're going to hear the amazing things that you say, and we're going to know exactly how you feel. So you don't have to start with, my thesis statement is. All right. Another thought for you, you might have to resubmit your thesis statement several times. I do ask you to submit it, and then I review it and I send you feedback on it. And very possibly I will send you back a grade of a 7, right? And comments saying, please resubmit. That's not a bad thing. Okay, if you see a 7 in Blackboard, if you see a comment from me saying, please resubmit, then do that. You will get full credit once your thesis statement is approved. What it means simply is we need to work on it a little bit. We need to tweak it. We need to make it more simple, more clear cut, more to the point. All right. And please remember that a well-crafted thesis statement, huge impact on your final speech. The other thing that you should be aware of, your thesis statement may change as you develop your speech. In some cases, you come up with a topic that's just too broad. There's too much stuff in it and you need to narrow it. And so in that case, you might find that your thesis statement narrows a little bit. In other cases, you might find that you're too narrow and you need to add more detail and be more broad. And so your thesis statement might change in that instance too. Totally okay to do that. Totally okay also for your thesis statement to change slightly after I have okayed it. It's just normal. But remember that your thesis statement is the anchor to your speech. And so everything else in your speech needs to refer back to your thesis statement. We should be able to tell how all the main points in your speech support that one statement. And that's it. Please, please, please don't feel overwhelmed with thesis statements. I know a lot of times people do get worked up about them, but my job is to help guide you through them, help make them easier. So please remember, you might have to redo it a few times. You might have to resubmit a few times. It's totally okay. You will get full credit in the long run. But I'm also available to you to do brainstorming sessions. Okay, if you need help crafting the perfect thesis statement or maybe tweaking it a little bit, please reach out to me. I'm happy to meet with you anytime. In the meantime, good luck with your thesis statements. I am looking forward to seeing them and hearing all about your great ideas. Thanks, everyone. Have a fabulous week.